Good afternoon. My name is Haley Salmon, and I'm the Jackson County 4-H educator. And I am so excited to be able to bring to you something for Fair Project Friday. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the companion animals section of the Fair tab, which is section 4325. The first thing I want to show you is how to be able to get to the Fair tab so you can start looking for fair projects that you can enter into your county fair and hopefully get to go on to the state fair. So it's very easy to find the Fair tab if your county doesn't already have it posted. The first place you go is the Oklahoma 4-H website, which is www.4h.okstate.edu. If you scroll down, this is the home page, and if you look on the left side, you can go to events and activities. If you'll scroll down and you'll see state events and activities and click on that. And then about halfway down, you'll see state fairs, Oklahoma City and Tulsa. The first part or the first thing that you see is the tab. You can either look at the changes that we made from last year, or you can just look at the changes where they're not highlighted. I'll go ahead and pull that up. I actually already have the 4325 section pulled up, so I'll go ahead and show you, and we'll kind of go over some of the sections and the divisions that you can enter. So here, as you can tell, I have section 4325 pulled up, 4-H companion animals. So first of all, I'm going to go over some of the things that we want to see in this section. All companion animal exhibits should focus on one of the following: animal health and/or nutrition, good husbandry and/or grooming, training and/or showing, service and/or citizenship. Those are the main categories that we would like to see your fair projects in. The one thing that I do want to go over, I've been the superintendent for this section for about the past 3 or 4 years, so I get to assist in judging. And I can tell you that a lot of times we will have to DQ projects for this next rule. Companion animals refer to animals utilized as household pets. So that means birds, cats, dogs, fish, rabbits, and guinea pigs, etc. Small creatures like that. The one thing that we tend to see a little bit of is livestock and wildlife. And remember, guys, even though they can be our companions, they don't fit in this section. So in the cases of rabbits and turtles, they can be represented as companion animal or non-companion animal, but it will be up to the 4-H member to make sure that their entry represents companionship. So think about those things. The other thing that we need to make sure that are on all of our fair projects is the 4-H member's name, grade, and the county needs to be somewhere on your project. If it's a poster, it's going to go on the back. If it's a display board, it's also going to go on the back. Exhibits that don't have any of those things will not be displayed. Another reason that you want to put that on there is sometimes when we get to the state fair, tags get lost, and so if I can just look on the back of that project and see what county it's from, then we can go and find that educator or volunteer and work with them to make sure that we get the tag on there so it doesn't get disqualified. If you use text, pictures, drawings, or artwork that's not created by the 4-H exhibitor, then we need to make sure that we reference that source. And you can look at that section at the opening of the 4-H division. So let's go over some of the categories that you can enter. We have a companion animal poster section, and that you can enter into 2 different divisions, the junior or the senior. Junior division for all categories is grades 3 through 7, and the senior category is grades 8 through 12. So then we also have a companion animal display, a companion animal photo storyboard, a companion animal single photo entry. And one of the things that we need to remember about the storyboard and the photo entry sections, those must be taken by the exhibitor. So that means that you can't be in the picture. So make sure and read the fine print on those, because we've had to disqualify some of those in years past because they weren't taken by the exhibitor. And then one of my favorite categories is the Me and My Pet Journal. It's a 3-ring binder that's 3 inches or small, showing activities you and your pet have been doing this past year. And I can say that this section is always very small. So if you have some interest or you have a favorite dog, document some of those things that you guys have been doing, dog, cat, fish, whatever. Make sure and document those, and let's try to get those entries up, because it's been kind of slim the past couple of years. So I really challenge you to look at that section and think about doing an entry. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show you some examples of a companion animal display board, and then I'm going to show you a companion animal storyboard that one of my 4-Hers has entered. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some examples of what you can enter into the fair. But the first thing that I want to show you is, if you're going to do a poster, make sure and remember that it's a 14 by 22, which is half of a regular size poster board. This is the size a poster board that I bought at Walmart. I cut a section in half, and I can actually make 2 posters. So that's 2 fair project entries. So keep that in mind. The next thing I want to show you is a companion animal photo board. This is section 4325, division 5, because this 4-Her was a junior. So as you can tell, he has pictures of different grooming supplies, and then he has pictures of him actually doing different things. One of the things that I want to talk about on this one is we need to make sure that the exhibitors are taking the photos in this section. So that was probably, I don't know that it got disqualified, but I think it got moved to the lower end of the judging. So this is an example of a photo storyboard, something very easy to put together. The next thing I want to show you is a display board. And this particular 4-Hers has actually done 2 display boards for various years. He chose his to do over animal health on both of these storyboards. So this one is The Clock is Ticking, and it shows the life cycle of a tick. And one thing that I really love about what this 4-Her did is he actually put this together for the speech contest, and then he used it as a fair project entry. So think about those things. When it's speech contest time, put together a display board and then keep that board and make sure and reuse it. The one thing on display boards and a lot of our posters, so you need to check the rules, is always make sure that you have, whoops, a 4-H clover on your display boards. Most of the categories want to see a 4-H clover. And one thing that I tell my 4-Hers is, when in doubt, get a small 4-H clover and stick it on there. That way we're safe. This is the second one that he did. It's called Why Blood is Thicker Than Water, and it's also over animal health. One of the cool things about this is this kid is actually in our vet science club, and so he took a club that didn't really have a category in the fair, and he made a fair project that went into companion animals. So you don't just have to have a companion animal club in your county to be able to participate in the companion animal section. So something to think about. He talked about all the different types of blood cells, and he did a little bit of research. He gave some description of each one. And because this information isn't his word for word, he cited it, and he put it right down here on the bottom. It says resources and where he got everything. So this is a really good example. I actually think he placed first or second with this particular board. It's a very good board. It shows all the information needed. One other thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking about posters, so I have the correct poster size, and if I was entering this into the fair, I would put my name, grade, and county on the back of it. I would make sure that I have a 4-H clover, and then if I have the capabilities, I'd go ahead and run this through a laminator. Some of your county offices have laminators. If not, go by a Staples or somewhere, call around and see if you can get it. Laminated posters tend to have a better presentation, and we do like those when we get to the state fair level. I hope that you've learned something today about the companion animal section at the fair, for the fair, and I hope that I get to see a lot more entries at the state fair level in 4325. Have a great day.